everyone, welcome back to another episode of Second Chance Garden video. So it's been a while since I've done any carnivorous plants update because mainly there were just a lot of updates that I had to do, and I have been wanting to do this one for so long. Finally, I think I figured a way to shoot this thing. So this is a regular Asian pitcher plant. I almost wanted to say this is a Nepenthes alata, but then I started to look other photos online, and some of them are looking completely different from these pictures and labeled alata. So I'm going to have to look into it a little bit more just to be accurate. At this point, I'm not really sure, so I'm just going to call this just standard, regular Asian pitcher plant. I purchased this at a local florist and last year, late last summer, I think, and it's been doing quite well. It overwintered well, and as you can see, there are baby pitchers coming out. So anyway, the reason why I've been putting off shooting this video was that I just couldn't find the right angle in my grow room to shoot this the right way without including all the busy backgrounds. And my office slash grow space is limited in that manner, meaning that there's a lot going on. I have huge file cabinets to, shelvings to all sorts of things. And yeah, so what I decided to do was to sort of cover up the background. The background is basically a whiteboard that I use for work, and I actually write a lot of things on it, and most of it I couldn't really erase, so I covered it up sort of with like white paper. And I know it's not looking all that great, but at least I get to sort of show you how my pitcher plant looks like in its entirety. As you can see, I mean, it just goes really, really long. So yeah, I hope this is good enough for you guys. But anyway, first you saw some of the new pitchers in the middle. And as you can see at the bottom, all those, I think they're like 5 pictures. These are all from last year. And, I sort of contemplated on whether or not to chop them off entirely, or, do I just cut the brown part? I just left them on over the winter. There was really not much going on anyway. So, yeah, but I think what I wanted to do with this plant this time around, we're in May 2015, and since I'm seeing this new growth happening, and that the leaves, I mean, they got so tall, so I wanted to do 2 things. I think I want to cut off all the pitchers. I mean, half of the pitchers, as you can see, maybe I can zoom in on all the growth a little bit. See if I can do that a little bit here better. Oh, there you go. Maybe zoom out just a little bit. Okay, there. It's kind of hard to do this while I'm talking, but anyway, so like a good half of the pictures are in good shape, and I've seen other videos where people are just cutting the brown part off because the cups are still functioning. But at this point, since they're new growth, like I said, and I want all the energy to go to the new pitchers, so I think I'm going to cut them all off. That's my plan. And then I'm hoping that, these don't just take up too much energy from the main plant and promote more new pitchers. So that's what I want to do. And then I wanted to sort of focus on, I guess, the overgrown leaves towards the top. There. I think I'm going to make some cuttings out of some of the stems so that, I can multiply this plant. And if anything happens to this mother plant, I still have a backup. So that's basically what I wanted to do. So I'm going to set this plant up on a bench so that, I can show you how I just trim them up and make some cuttings and pot them up and all that stuff. So, okay, I'm going to post this video and I will be right back with a new scene, so to speak. Okay, hold on one sec. Okay, so I think I'm set up and good to go on the bench, and I would like to start from the easy part, which is to cut off the old pictures that you see in front of you. So there are 5 right here, and yeah, I'm a bit hesitant to get rid of them completely, but I think I'm going to do this. Okay, so as usual, these are my trusted shear, sterilized, and yeah, let's get started. All right, so right here is one of them, and like I said before in the beginning, that some people suggest just cutting off this older part, like so, like this, and just keep this the picture like this for a little while. But I think I'm going to just cut it entirely. So as you can see, this is the tip of the leaf right here, and the picture's here. So I'm going to cut it off right here in an angle there. Okay, 1 down, 2 down, 3 more to go. Here we go. Okay, there. There, and the last one here. That. Okay, so 5 pictures. They're done. All right, so the next part is to make some cuttings, and yeah, before I do that, I'm wondering if I can show you a little bit closer look what the rest of the plants look like. So in the beginning, as I showed you, here is one of the baby picture that's coming out. Looking pretty good. The color's good, I think. And down below, here's another one, tiny one. And now I'm hoping that these can grow significantly without, having old pictures hanging. All right. And actually, there's the third one. And I just have to turn it around and show it to you. It's behind the dense leaves in this area. So if I just move it around a little bit, there. So here is another baby one. Well, actually, I found another one too. So I guess there are 4 all together growing right now. This is a very, very tiny one right here. There you go. So yeah, it's great. I'm really pleased. I think there are a couple of them that just popped up during winter time, and naturally, just with low sunlight situation, cold weather, all those winter factors obviously affected those pictures, and they didn't really grow. And here's one of them. I don't know if you can see this right there. So this one came out and tried to grow, but really didn't do much. So I think I'm going to leave this for now, but I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. It's been like this for, I have to say, like 4 months. All right, I think I had another one somewhere. Oh yeah, this is like really tiny. So I might have to zoom in a little bit and see. Hold on 1 second. There, you see this? It's pretty much shrivelled. Maybe I can cut this one, just because, obviously it really isn't going to go anywhere. But I guess it all starts like this in the beginning, it's very tiny. All right, so let me just cut that off. I feel bad, but it's just really not going to do anything. All right, so that's out. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit and let's pick which one to cut. So, okay, I guess before I get to that, then I just wanted to show you what my setup is like. So I have 2 pots here. just in case. I don't know how many cuttings I'm gonna make. I'm just gonna have to see. So I have 2, and maybe like 3 cuttings can go into each or something like that. Or I may end up just using 1. Who knows? We'll see. All right. And I have already moistened sphagnum moss right here. And yeah, I tried to chop it up a little bit just so that they're not too lengthy. But I think this is good. So that's that. And I also have super coarse perlite. And you can buy these online in a big bag. And I never had these before, but after I purchased this, I don't think I can go without it. I really like the fact that these are very coarse. So you see, these are a lot bigger than regular perlite. Dust, definitely, these produce a lot of dust when you move these things around, just as regular perlite. So in that regard, it's not any better, but I like the fact that these are very coarse. All right, so I wanted to mix these things into my sphagnum moss just to aerate the pots. But that's all I have. And other thing is that, well, you know, I'm going to use this to make cuttings, and I also have X-Acto knife so that I can split the end stem a bit easier. Well, that's my hope. This is the first time I'm going to do this, so we shall see. And I think I might even use this to cut leaves, or who knows? We'll see. All right, so this is the setup, and let's pick which one to cut. And I'm interested in obviously looking at the top growth. So they're young and you know, they're full of energy, and also I really wanted to trim this plant down a little bit. I've been wanting to repot this plant, but because of this dense growth here, it's hard for me to really think about repotting. So I wanted to trim them down first and see how that looks like after. Then I will think about repotting. And I'm not going to show repotting part in this video this time around. Anyway, so the first thing that I see is this stem right here. Yeah, hold on a second. I don't want to damage any baby pictures, so let me just be careful about how I do this. All right, but this stem here is pretty long, as you can see, and I think this one is a very good candidate to make a cutting. So what I want to do is to sort of keep, yeah, all right, I think I'm going to cut it here and see if I wanted to even divide further, but I think this is the part that I wanted to cut. See this? All right, so let's do that first. Okay. I think right here, there. Okay. So this is one of them. I'm going to set this aside, and then let's just find another one to cut. All right, so this one going sideways, I had to sort of put this under this hanging wire thingy just to get it under control. But now this thing became so long, so I'm going to cut this one too. So what I wanted to do is to pick just the lower point, and I'll figure out whether or not to divide even further later, but I wanted to cut it right here. All right, and I'm setting it aside. All right, now it's getting a little bit more manageable looking. It's a little bit more compact. But let's see if there's anything else that I can cut since I'm at it anyway. But without cutting any baby pictures, so I have to be very careful. All right, I don't know if I wanted to cut any more. Maybe I'll just leave this. It's just, you know, those two are just really going crazy. But now it looks a little bit more manageable. But let me just take a last look to see. Here we go. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, now I'm pretty indecisive about this. But I guess I'll make the one more cuttings here. I don't see any pictures coming out or anything, so I'm not really ruining anything. Yeah, so let's just cut it here. And I think it will make this plant a little bit more compact, right? And I will set this thing aside so that I can get to planting the new cuttings. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. I guess these aren't that long. I don't know. It's just they seem to be in the way a little bit out of this pot. Maybe, I don't know. It wasn't that bad. Okay. Anyway, so let's start from this one. Maybe I can just divide this into 2 by just cutting it in the middle here. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm cutting it here and there just to make sure, but I wanted to know that which direction they're growing, so I don't want to change that. I'm just going to keep it this way and set aside. Well, it's getting really crowded on this bench. All right, so the second one I can do the same, I think. So I wanted to yeah, cut it in the middle right here where my thumbs are, and I will cut it in half. There. Okay, and all right, set these aside. Oops. All right, the last one, this was just a really short cut. Maybe I'll just keep it as is. So I guess I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all right, so since I have this in my hand, let's get started. I'm just going to peel this leaf off. And right, and I also wanted to cut some of the leaves. I guess I'm not using an X-Acto knife for this. This regular shears a lot faster, just so that the leaves don't take up a lot of energy and that the energy can focus on growing roots. So that's what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to cut leaves just like so. Right, a lot shorter. But I wanted to leave some of the leaves to, you know, sort of get this photosynthesis effect. So I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'll just cut this one in half. It's too long. All right, how about that? So let's just set these leaves aside, and yeah, there you go. So this is one of these, and I'm going to split the stem in half to sort of promote the root growth. Hopefully it works out. Never done this, so I don't know, but I'm just placing this down on the table, and I'm going to use X-Acto knife. Once again, sterilized. Okay, I think it's important. So anyway, this is a regular, I don't know, I think it says number 11 or something, but this is how it looks like. And I'm going to just cut in the middle, just slice it in the middle, like so. Okay, did I do that right? Yeah, I think so, right there. I don't know if you can see this, right in the middle. There you go, I think this is a lot better. So that's what I wanted to do for all of them. And I'm going to set this one far aside so that I don't get confused. All right, so let's get to the second one. All right, the same thing. I'm going to peel off this one at the bottom, and I'm going to cut this leaf right there. And just leave these two. I'll make it just a little bit shorter, just so that it's easier to manage and sit in a plastic bag easier. So here we go, and I will split it. All right. Maybe I could even quarter this part, but you know what? For now, I'm going to just split it in half to see how it goes. All right, so I can set this one aside. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the rest of 3, and I will be back just so that you don't have to keep watching the same thing, okay? So hold on one sec. All right, so I'm done trimming them to the right size, and I'm ready to pot them up. All right, and so why don't I just start from the sphagnum moss. And I'm going to add this coarse perlite. I don't know how much I wanted to add it, so I usually have enough, like more than enough, and I just gradually add these things to sphagnum moss until it feels right. So I'm going to sort of sprinkle in and just mix them up, and you know I'll see how I feel. Yeah, just try to blend perlite in evenly. Obviously, they tend to go to the bottom, so I'm just trying to bring them up and mix them in. I think I can use it just a little bit more, so I'm going to sprinkle in some more and see how it goes. So I used up about half of what I think I was going to use. Okay. All right. Get in there. I think this is good. Just to add enough aeration. That's the whole point of using coarse perlite. And yeah, and the sphagnum moss is obviously to keep moisture in. So I think this is good. So let's just prep 2 pots here. Just roughly just cover up the bottom so that I can stick in the cuttings, and I'll, you know, to fill the rest. There you go. So, you know what, like halfway up and see how that goes. Obviously, I'm going to have to add a lot more to just make, you know, secure these things. So let's start from this one. Just stick inside. I'll do, these are small. I wonder if I can just get away with putting all these 3 in here, and I'm going to fill this pot. Just like so. There. Just sort of keep all these 3 cuttings separated a little and secure them in the right place. All right, almost there, I think. Just lift some leaves up and fill the gap. There. Let me see. Just a little bit more. All right, there. So it's, you know, it's not too loose, and they will be standing up and not moving around. That's the goal. All right. So I think this one's good. So I'm going to do another one, the next one, this one, and I will be back once again. All right, so I am finally done. This one's got 2 cuttings there, and this pot has 3. And now I'm, you know, as usual, what I wanted to do with cuttings is to put them in a Ziploc bag. So I have, well, 2 just in case. I wasn't sure whether one would fit both of them or not. Well, let's just try first and see how it goes. And after I put them in this bag, I have one of my 2 heating mats still sort of on for different reasons. And I think I'm going to place these at least in the beginning, on a heating mat, just to sort of, you know, kickstart the root growth, basically. Looks like if I squeeze it in, I feel like I can probably get these 2 fit in one bag, but I think I'm just going to keep them separated, just so that I don't force anything. So I'm going to seal this one here and move on to the next. Here we go. And right, so making these cuttings shouldn't be too hard. I'm really hoping that it doesn't really give me too much of an issue, and they will root, say, you know, in 2 weeks or something like that. I will be sure to update you on this. And so there we have it. Okay, so yeah. that's the update on my Nepenthes alata, also known as Asian pitcher plant. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comments, questions, please let me know as usual, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.